Hello, everyone. I'm Mr. Macabre, and welcome back to my movie library. Um, yeah, just really quick, I just wanted to say, for anybody that might have been, if there is anybody out there that was hoping for, newer videos and more of them, I do apologize. I do have content that I want to make, and I do want to make videos. I have some stuff that I really want to get going on. I still want to finish showing off the rest of my collector's editions and stuff. I really like one thing I started doing, and just I really want to get back to is the original versus remakes videos I was doing, and just other stuff too. This one is just going to be kind of like some stuff I picked up. But yeah, I just I do apologize, everybody. Just mostly just been busy with work. I have a demanding job. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to bog you down with that too much longer. But anyway, so just kind of give you an update on what I've been up to. Picked up a few things. Been very very picky and choosy. I mean, I know like right now that's kind of the big thing on a lot of the physical media channels is that everybody's talking about like oh my God, I'm regretting buying all these movies and I regret buying cinema and oh dear Lord, oh mea culpa, what am I gonna do and all this kind of stuff and everything else. And honestly, it's like yeah, I've got stuff that I've regretted buying, and you know, um, and that's one of the things too. Is usually I do the what you watching videos, and honestly, like I have been watching some movies, but honestly, they're not even interesting enough to talk about. You know, um, but just so that's why I even made one of those videos. Just kind of like some of the movies I've been looking at lately is, oh, I'll check this one out. I'll check this one. It's like, these aren't even really interesting enough to talk about in a video. So, and a lot of them are just, but, I'm in a really good place. I feel like I'm in a really good place as far as like my movie collecting is going right now. Just, yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at stuff that I have and stuff that I want. I know, for example, like, they just put out pre-orders for 4K releases for both High Tension and Martyrs. If you remember, just a little while ago, I did my video on the new Extremities box set, and I got both of those. Now, granted, they're Blu-ray, but still, I'm just, I'm like, I'm pretty comfortable with not getting those on 4K because, I just bought that box set, and I kind of want to revel in it in a while longer. And to be honest with you, both High Tension and Martyrs are not really movies I need in 4K. I don't watch them that often, and that's the thing, it's like when it comes to it, I know a lot of people are just kind of like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Oh, and all this stuff. It's like I pretty much have streamlined a lot of what I want to get as far as like 4Ks go. I'm not gonna give up buying 4K. I'm not, but I mean, it's simple, it's like, okay, I'm looking, kind of like standing back, looking, seeing what they got. Okay, like I did pre-order Wolf Creek on 4K because I love that movie. That's a movie I adore. It's a lot of money, granted, but I did pre-order off of Diabolic. But yeah, I want that movie, and I love that movie. It's one of my favorite horror films. I love John Jarrett's character as McTaylor, definitely a guy you love to hate, and just such a great villain in there. And I can't wait for Wolf Creek 3. We keep hearing about it. Yeah, just I'm looking forward to that, and that's what I've been doing. It's just kind of like really holding back and saying like, okay, I want this, I want this. No, I don't want that. And all that kind of stuff. I only got enough money for this and everything else. So, but yeah, just I'm in a really happy place. And I've been making room. I've been just holding back and waiting, and stuff like that. And I feel really good about where I'm at right now. And I got a lot of what I want. Right now, I want to try to focus on trying to get, make sure I get 4Ks of, movies from my favorite directors. Like you just saw, I just did the video where I got the David Cronenberg films. And now, Criterion is saying they're going to put out History of Violence on 4K. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And the Shrouds, but I think that's going to be Blu-ray only. But that's a new Cronenberg movie I'm looking forward to checking out and stuff like that. So yeah, so I'm just, I feel like I'm in a really good place. I don't feel like I'm about to lose my mind or anything like that. I'm still going through, and that's like another thing too. Is, just I've been watching movies that, I used to, like a lot of people, I used to go out, hit up the thrift stores, the pawn shops, all that kind of stuff, and I would pick up DVDs for like, 50 cents or $1 or something like that, or Blu-rays for like $2 and stuff. And it's like I've been going through and like, watching stuff, and if it's good, I'll keep it. If it's bad, I get rid of it, and stuff like that. So I just feel overall, I just feel really, really good about where I'm at. So yeah, I'm happy. And anyway, sorry, it's been over 5 minutes now. Enough of the rant or raving on or whatever. So just wanted to show you a couple of things I picked up, a couple of things I got off the Amazon Prime Day sale. One was an upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray, which I'm very happy because I've been wanting it for a long time. But anyway, we'll get into that. First of all, I do want to say I'm sorry because I ordered, it was for my Jess Franco collection. I ordered the new movies, or not a new movie, it's an old movie, but I ordered Satanic Sisters on Blu-ray, and, the guys from Body Bags, because I showed them the cover. Yeah, you guys will understand why I can't show that on YouTube. Trust me, if you see you see the cover, you understand. Yeah, YouTube has guidelines, and I would definitely be, yeah, if I showed the cover of that, I would definitely be pissing some people off. But I did get that, I just can't show it. So sorry about that. But I did, first of all, I picked up a couple of books that I'd just like to show off real quick. I know some people will be like, dude, this is a movie library. What the hell are you showing off books for? Well, the thing is like some of my lady friends, they're not really into movies. They love movies, but they're more into books. Books is more their thing, and so I pick up, I buy movies and TV shows and stuff, but I also buy, I also buy books too because I love, and no, I'm not just trying to get with the girls or anything like that. I do love books and I do actually like to read. So this one here is a book I've been wanting forever, and it got to a point I tried looking everywhere to find this book, and I honestly thought it was time to give it up. I was never going to get this. I am a fan of, even though I think the true story has been debunked pretty much, I am a fan of the book of the Amityville Horror. I think it's a great book. I think the book is way better than a lot of the movies and stuff. But Jay Anson, who wrote the book, the Amityville Horror, only wrote one other book before he passed away, and this is that book, 666. And I've been wanting to get this book forever, and I've been looking and looking and looking. I finally came across, a hardback in my local bookstore, so I'm finally going to get a chance to be able to read this. There he is. Yeah, the dust jacket's pretty beat up and everything else, but the book itself is still in really good condition, so, But anyway, so yeah, finally getting a chance. I'm going to be able to read this book, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah. So anyway, so yeah, happy about that. And I got this, believe it or not, I got this for free, and I think this is a pretty good deal. I got the 3-book collection of the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book set. And yeah, I'm happy to have these. This is cool. So yeah, really, really happy to get these. But anyway, I have women friends, and like I said, it's not that they don't love movies. They love movies and stuff, but they're just more into books than they are movies. So anyway, so yeah, so I do buy movies and stuff, but I pick up some books every now and again too. So because I love books and I love stories, And that's one of the things. I love movies because I love a good story, and I love books because I love good stories. So, so yeah, so it's all good to me, So, but anyway, so I got this. This was an upgrade. Probably the only 4K I bought in a little while, but since those, those David Cronenberg ones. But this one here this was a no-brainer for me, and at $22.99 plus tax, for a freaking 4K from Shout Factory, I thought this was worth it. I got the Wallace and Gromit, the Cracking Collection here. The complete Cracking Collection here. You know, it comes with the short films A Grand Day Out, The Wrong Trousers, A Close Shave, A Matter of Loaf and Death, and Cracking Contraptions. I love Aardman. I love what they do. I love the Wallace and Gromit stuff. I'm praying, because they just put out the new Wallace and Gromit movie on Netflix. I'm praying that, you know, Shout Factory can do a Blu-ray of that at some point. A 4K would be great, but if Blu-ray is the best we can do, I'll take a Blu-ray, all right? But, you know, just, I love everything Aardman does, pretty much. I love the Wallace and Gromit stuff, the Showing the Sheep stuff, Chicken Run, Pirates, Band of Misfits, you know, and this is stuff, you know, that's the thing. You know, and this was $22.99. Now, I mean, my God, for a Shout Factory Blu-ray. Now, tell me that's not affordable. You know, in a time when 4Ks and stuff are getting more and more expensive, to get a 4K for $22.99. Now, you can't beat that. Now, this is one of those kind of things. I'm sure some people would be like, did you really, like, this is probably the stupidest thing you could get on 4K. Did you really need this? You know, and the answer is, hell yes, I needed it. And not only I wanted it, I needed it, I wanted it, and I got it. You know, nothing's going to stop me. Because I love these series. And this is one of those things. Until you start watching it on 4K, you don't really, I think you may not realize, like, how great something like this on 4K can be. Because, I mean, granted, now, the very first episode, A Grand Day Out. Now, granted, that one doesn't look the best in 4K, but you got to remember, it's a very old film. This is just them when they were just starting out. But even still, you know, there's some, you know, there's some nice stuff to see in this video, you know, in that episode, you know. And the thing that I think, you know, and what really, really draws me into it, and with each one, they just got better and better, you know. And the thing that really, really draws me into is, like, when you think about all the work and the detail and everything that goes into this animation, and you see the amount of detail, like in Wallace and Gromit's house, you see the, you know, I don't want to say like run down, but lived in look of their home, and, you know, just the way it's done, you know. They give Wallace and Gromit's house as kind of, you know, it's the home of a bachelor, you know, with his dog. And you see, like, just some of the detail that they put into, you know, the miniatures and the sets and everything else. And it's like, my God, you know, it just makes you appreciate this kind of art form so much more. And especially in a day now where everything is all done by CGI, and, you know, to think of how much work and effort went into this kind of animation, you know, and it's astounding. And you just, like, want to go up to everybody that worked on the animation and stuff, and you just want to shake their hands and say, and tell them what a magnificent job they did. And this here, you know, it's absolutely worth it. You know, I think it's worth it. And for $22.99. Now, I know they did, excuse me, I know a little while back they did the big box set, you know, that was like $100, but I waited because I didn't like the packaging. It was too expensive. And plus, you know, they have Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit on Blu-ray, and I was just like, I already have that on Blu-ray. I may as well just wait, see if this gets a standard edition, which it finally did, and I got it. But also, too, you know, I started thinking to myself, like, here's the problem. What if, you know, it's happened before, you know, what if, like, you know, you put out Curse of the Were-Rabbit on Blu-ray, then, you know, like, maybe a year down the road, now we get the announcement they're going to do a 4K of that. It's like, you know, I may as well just stick with the Blu-ray I have right now and wait and see if, you know, the day comes where a 4K of Curse of the Were-Rabbit is going to come around. But, you know, yeah, just, this here, I just, you know, I'm not the least bit sorry I got this. It was totally worth the upgrade for me. Great animation. I'll take, you know, give me Aardman over Disney any day. You know, maybe not so much Looney Tunes, but, you know, Aardman, I'll take Aardman any day. I love their stuff. They put so much imagination, I meant to say. They put so much imagination and work into what they do, and just their stuff is just top tier. I think it's just some of the best animation I've ever seen. You know, one thing I will say though is, like, you know, with the 4K, the very high definition and stuff. One thing you definitely notice, you could see like the fingerprints in like the characters and stuff like that. You can definitely see that. But this was absolutely worth it. I just 100%. I'm so glad I got this. So. Now, the one thing that I got, these two things I got from the Amazon Prime sale. And like I said, this is something I've had on DVD for a very long time. And I've always had the Blu-ray set on my wish list. But, it was just always so expensive. And it finally dropped down as like, this is the time. If you're going to upgrade this from DVD to Blu-ray, this is the time to do it. And the time is now. And what I got was the complete series of Monty Python and the Flying Circus. Brilliant comedy, wonderful show. I used to have the big, like DVD set with all the slim cases and everything else. But I've always been wanting to upgrade this, and now I have this. It's nice. It takes up a lot less space. That's the big thing. Everybody's always talking about, that's the problem with physical media. It takes up a lot of space. And well, now I got rid of that big, box set there and condensed it down to this. So there you go. And it's high definition, unedited, uncensored, unedited episodes, everything else. It's a win-win. And I've already looked into this, and I still need to finish it, but it looks great. Wonderful. And normally this would go like around $90. Sometimes it would fluctuate. Sometimes it'd be $90. Sometimes it would jump to over 100. Sometimes 80 and everything else. This finally dropped down to, I think it was 40. It was between 40 and $50. And might have been like $49.99, something like that. And I just thought to myself, the time is now. If you're going to do this, do it. Jump on this, get it while you can, and there you go. So I'm very, very thrilled with this. And it's like upgraded something, and got something nice. It's in a nice slimmer case. It's going to take up a lot less space. So now I can give the, I could sell off the DVD set to somebody who will want that and appreciate it. And hey, no judgment, on people who, there are probably people out there who say, dude, I love that big friggin' DVD box set. And it's like, well, now I could give it to somebody who will love it and appreciate it more than I would. So it's win-win, so. But anyway, so yeah, I love this show. It's great. I do enjoy the movies. I'm not really keen on, since they said that the 4K for Holy Grail is going to be like an edited down version, I don't think I'm going to want that. So why you guys know me. I love my director's cuts and my extended cuts and all that stuff. Why the hell would I want a cut down version of Holy Grail? No, I don't think so. I think I'll stick with what I got. I have it on Blu-ray. I think I'll just stick with that. So anyway, but Monty Python and the Flying Circus, glad to finally get my hands on this, and glad to finally have it. Last but not least, everybody, this is something I watched this show years ago, but then I kind of just lost interest in it. I've only been getting back into it again recently, and that was the thing. I had this on my wish list too. And then they finally dropped the price down to where I could, it was like $61.99. So I just decided, what the hell? It's on Blu-ray. I'll pick up the whole series. We got The Big Bang Theory. This is a show I do enjoy. Kaylee Cuoco is a goddess. I don't care what anybody says. She is just, I do admit, the first time I watched, there she is, Penny. I was like, when I first started watching, it's like, Jesus Christ, that woman is gorgeous. And she still is, But, this is a fun show. You can tell the box is a little dinged up in some places. But that's okay, But yeah, a fun show, Sheldon Cooper, the character you love to hate, But yeah, for the most part, I like a lot of the characters on here, And just, I did enjoy the show. That's the thing about, I hate to say it, that's kind of the thing about Chuck Lorre shows. The guy is kind of a master of creating, and I noticed this with Big Bang Theory, even Mike and Molly, 2.5 Men. a lot of his characters are just flat out assholes. A lot of his characters are just douchebags, and stuff like that, and just. But there's something, I don't know, there's something that just draws you to them. But, Big Bang Theory, it's a very fun show. I think, people like this show because I think everybody feels there's a little bit of nerd in all of us, I mean, not to the level of characters like Leonard or Shelton or Howard or Raj, but, maybe not to that level so much. But I think everybody feels like, yeah, we all have a little bit of nerd in us, but it's a fun show. It's a great show. I liked, Amy Amy is a really good character. And, but just, yeah, it was a, really fun show. Like I said, I watched it quite a bit back in the day, but then I just stopped for some reason. And just some time passed and, started getting back into it again recently. So then I saw on the Prime Day deal, they put this Blu-ray set for $61.99. And, I was like, what the hell, why not? So, you got your book here. I'm sure people are, it's like, why are you showing this? Everybody already knows what's in it. There's a book there. And then, you got your seasons 1 through 5. Really cool. Seasons 6 or 10. And then seasons 11 and 12 plus the bonus disc. So yeah. But overall, just, I've always, wouldn't say I've always loved the show because like I said, for some reason I just lost interest in it for a while, and just here recently I just kind of like, that was the thing. I started checking on some things on YouTube talking about it and stuff, and I was just like, man, I really want to get back into that show again. So here we go. So there you go. So that's pretty much everything I picked up. Not really a whole lot, but excuse me. But just, I got other stuff coming. That's a lot of it too, is I paid for a couple of pre-orders. Like I said, I pre-ordered Wolf Creek and Black Sheep, the New Zealand horror movie, not the, not the Chris Farley movie, but some other stuff too. And I got some really good pre-orders coming up and everything else, stuff I'm going to want to talk about. But anyway, so I picked up Big Bang Theory complete series, Monty Python the complete series. Wallace and Gromit on 4K. I recommend it. If you want to wait, it'll go cheaper. But hell, even at $22.99 for a 4K, I'm not complaining. And a Shout Factory 4K at that. And a couple of books. The Scary Stories box set. And a book I never thought I was going to get. 666. So anyway, so that's pretty much what I've been up to. Mostly besides just working. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry I haven't been really able to make videos and stuff. I do have stuff I want to talk about, but, hopefully I'll be able to try to find more time. I got a couple of days off coming up, so, see if I can crank out a couple of videos then. But, so that's about it, everybody. So, if you stayed this long, I thank you for doing it. I appreciate you for doing it. I honestly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, would you please leave it a like? And if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And that's it, everybody. So take care. Have a good night. See you all later.